pressure. Donald got there in the air, intercepted by the Rams, and they may ride to the Super Bowl on that.
This is for you, Kings fans, wherever you may be. All the frustration and disappointment of the past is gone. The 45-year drought is over. The Los Angeles Kings are indeed the kings of the National Hockey League. They are the 2012 Stanley Cup champions.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another Postgame Live here on Dime Dropper for the 2024-25 NBA season. Before we get started, you already know the drill. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube at Dime Dropper for all things LA Pro basketball and LA sports and NBA. And we are live from Los Angeles, ladies and gentlemen. Super chats are turned on if you want to drop $1 or a dime. Any donations appreciated for the Dime Dropper main event every year, it seems to be, where both the fan bases that listen to me the most come together for a live Lakers, Clippers, and man, I'm pretty fucking annoyed. I can't lie. I got to try to curse a little bit less this time, though. But lost the season series to the Lakers, 3-1. Could not get a W at our old stomping grounds. Very unfortunate. I was hoping for better tonight. I was really excited for the game. Well, not really. I haven't been excited for a game and Clipper game, and God knows how long, to be honest, that I wasn't attending. But Norman Powell got injured or re-injured in like 5 minutes. You know, let's see how many minutes he actually played. It was very, very unfortunate. Went back out with the hamstring. Let's see, 4 minutes? No, 9 minutes. 1 for 5, 0 for 3 from deep. That's sore hamstring, and hamstrings can be tricky. So that's already a little bit of a concern for us. As far as the Lakers, they didn't have Austin Reeves or Rui Hachimura tonight. So, and we didn't have Derek Jones Jr. So both teams pretty shorthanded. Honestly, I don't know who you would think has the advantage. I think the Lakers have the advantage because they just right now they're just better than us. Like I mean, they got Luka handed to them on a silver platter. It is what it is. Even their own fans admit it. And now, as of now, even though Kawhi, the one silver lining of this game for us is that Kawhi, this was maybe his best game yet. He started to look more like his old self, which is great. But their two best players are better than our best player right now. And when that's the case, you're going to have a very hard time winning against that kind of team, especially in the groove that they're in. Lakers are on a 6-game winning streak. But, you know, obviously I'm looking at the game from our lens, what we can do better. Yeah, if you're an outsider, not a Laker or a Clipper fan, you're like, yeah, Lakers won. You know, they're a better team. The Clippers don't have Norman Powell. He's been leading their team in scoring. Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura versus Derek Jones Jr. and Norman Powell. Well, you know, who's at a bigger disadvantage? I'll let you guys debate that in the comments. I think both sides are going to say their own team, so it's pointless. But we had chances to win this game. We had chances to win last game. I think if you look at the late game mistakes, the possession that we gave up, 4 shots, I believe it was. Even Stu. So remember, I still don't have my cable because, you know, house burned down, no cable. So I've been watching on Stream East, and I was watching on the Spectrum broadcast tonight. And by the way, I just want to give a shout out to all 4 of our amazing broadcasters here in Los Angeles. Brian Seaman, Jim Jackson, Stu, and Billy Mack. I was tweeting about it with somebody today. I've had the pleasure of meeting all 4 of them, shaking their hands. Jim Jackson, the least amount. But, man, some really, really great people, especially Brian Seaman and Billy Mack. Like, straight up, a lot of respect for those two. We've been blessed in LA with great announcers. But, yeah, man, I was watching on their feed, and even Stu was like, yeah, of course, a professional basketball team, especially the Lakers, going to make a shot when you've given them 4 possessions. I mean, Amir Coffey was kind of ball watching, and Amir, you know, I went to bat for him. And I'll go to bat for him. He's homegrown and stuff. And I like the guy. And I've also gotten to shake his hand or whatever. But, like, he did not play well in these 2 games. He did not at all. We needed more from him. We needed way more from him. And this game, he didn't even get a shot up. Didn't even get a shot up. That was embarrassing, quite frankly. But another possession late in the game, you know, that could have made a difference. Chris Dunn gets that amazing cookie on Luka. LeBron gets his signature chase down. And by the way, how when you're playing against LeBron James can you go up underhand like that when you see him in your periphery? Like, there's just no You got to try to dunk that shit or go overhand because it's LeBron James. You lay it up like that, it's insane. With LeBron James, you're going to get pinned. You're going to get pinned. And Kawhi Leonard got the rebound, though. I wish they hadn't called the goaltend because Luka fouled him. It would have been 2 free throws, although the way Kawhi's been shooting free throws is a little suspect right now, to be honest with you. But likely, just me being on the optimistic side, given the way Kawhi was shooting. I mean, he was 4 for 5 from the foul line tonight. It's safe to assume he could have gone 6 for 7 there, making both. Now we're 3 points down, 29 seconds left. I'll give the boys credit. They fought hard at the end, but let's be honest. The first half, especially the second quarter, we went 7 minutes without a point. You expect to beat a good team like that? And I'm sorry. It's it's happening, guys. It's happening in front of my eyes. James Harden is going back to what I call terrorist ball. Who's going to tell him that this is not his team? Because if and you apologetic fanboys in the comment section, are you seeing what's happening right now? Because Kawhi Leonard, and again, this is not about emotions and fandom. I want both of them gone. And I'm starting to see everybody jump on the wagon that I don't know if I've been leading it because some other people in Clipper Nation have been feeling that way. But of all the big voices, I don't like talking about myself that way. But of all the big voices, so to speak, I'm the only one that's been pro. Get out of here. But the fact of the matter is this. That I know, and it's nothing about Kawhi Leonard as a basketball player. There are some things he does on the court, like hold the ball too long and sometimes not look for the open man as much as I'd like. That annoy me. But overall, there are so many great things about Kawhi's game when he's healthy. When he's healthy. He just hasn't been very healthy, and he doesn't do the extras to feel like James Harden has done the extras, been good with fans, signed a bunch of autographs, said the right things, and been a good ambassador. Kawhi, he's been injured, and he doesn't do that, so it's been a shit show, right? But I'm not stupid enough to not see how good he is when he plays. And we've only kept him around because we know that when he's at his best, he's one of the best in the league. He was All-NBA last year. How soon we forget. So James Harden needs to understand you did your part, bro. You made the All-Star team. You ran our offense. Now you play through Kawhi and you play through Zoo. He's dribbling the air out of the ball. He missed his first 2 shots this game, and they were good looks. One step back mid-range with Jackson Hayes in drop coverage, and the other one was, I believe, like a floater or something. And then he takes 10 fucking dribbles and shoots a step back air ball after he's 0 for 2. When Kawhi's like 2 for 3. Zubats has shot 2 shots in the first half. And I know the Lakers are doubling and scrambling, but we didn't score for 7 minutes. If we can get a double team in the first place, that's good. Then we got to pass out of it. But I'm afraid these guys are not going to swing the ball fast. You know who swings the ball fast? Nico Batum. But for whatever reason, Ty Lue is treating him like a geriatric guy who's about to retire at the end of this year because is he at a 20-minute limit or something? Because when we can't make threes and he's shooting 39% from the field and he's not a bad defender by any means, yes, maybe he can't rebound as well as you'd like. You have him playing 16 minutes? But I'm sorry, but it starts with James. And I'm not going to just yell even more about it. Oh God. I want to just say before I continue that there are some James Harden fans that have supported my channel, and I do respect their basketball opinion, but they know and they see, the logical ones know that it gets to this point, and we saw it last year, where he starts to get fatigued. And even Ty Lue commented about this right 10 minutes before I started this live. It's getting to him, but my issue with Harden is he plays the hard way. He constantly wants to play this way. He wants to dictate everything. Why don't you just dump it down to Zoo and go spot up, bro? Your 3-point percentage off the catch is not bad. I'm sorry. I've said it from the start. I've said it for years, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it because he's on my team. There's an inherent selfishness with some of these guys that play this way. They want to be the reason that the team gets a good shot. Sometimes you need to just step back a little bit, conserve your energy. And if we don't have a change, and by the way, it's not about shot attempts. James Harden, some apologist is going to say in the comments that Harden had 14 shot attempts and Kawhi had 23. And you know what? Kawhi was efficient. We don't have Paul George anymore. I don't give a shit if Kawhi takes 25 to 30 shots going forward. We have lived and we have given up our whole future to support this guy. So we're going to have to fall on the sword with him in terms of the organization. You know what I'm saying? James Harden, and it's not just the amount of shots. It's the type of shots he's taking. It's the amount of times he wants to try to do it himself or run a pick and roll. And then they get the switch, right? And he always thinks that, his matchup, his isolation, like Jackson Hayes versus Harden, is more advantageous than whatever Zoo has. And I just think it's ridiculous the way we're disrespecting Zoo. In the second half, we remember that he's like a basketball player on our team and he started getting the ball more and it looked a lot better. We won the second half by 7 points when we started treating Zubats like an actual player, and James Harden started working a little more quick and making decisions a little quicker. But that first half was a disaster. And look, a lot of it was amazing Lakers shot making. We've seen Luka Doncic come out and cook Zoo on the switch in the first quarter of games with Dallas over and over again, but we've been able to sometimes withstand that, push through and win by just playing our game and rallying. And we had chances. Chris Dunn, 3 open threes missed. For how great he is on defense, he leaves a lot to be desired on the other end, right? I think Nico and Derrick Jones Jr. are probably a better mix, but Chris Dunn's defense is so valuable and his hustle is so great that, like, I kind of like him being out there, but to close games, it's a lot of the same discussion that we were having with Westbrook. And by the way, the Clippers 3-point shooting has been dog shit lately, and that's going to hurt Zoo. So for those that are saying that, like, it's going to be hard to get Zoo the ball, okay, shit is hard, man. This is basketball. Like, you chose the wrong sport. Like, it's going to be hard sometimes to get in the ball, but it's not impossible. They're switching smaller guys onto him, and we have James Harden, who's a great entry passer. Just space the floor properly, and that's one thing I'm happy I mentioned that, because our spacing was really bad at times, and it wasn't just like the lack of shooting threats. It was the lack of shooting threats not knowing where to be, or like not cutting properly, or like at the opportune time and filling open space to make the passing window easier. It was little stuff like that. So it falls to me on James more than anyone. And then Zubats, getting the ball more, should have gotten the ball more. But the Lakers, when you have LeBron James and Luka, you're constantly sending 2 on the ball with them. They just create so many advantages. And then their guys were knocking down shots. Like, they shot 43% from 3, and we shot 31%. And our 3-point shooting has been really bad lately. We shot 44% from the field. They shot 49. We shot 82% from the line. They shot 70. So the only category that we outshot them in or shot better than them was free throws. Our 3-point percentage was ass. Theirs was good, and a lot of it's because they're generating better looks, because Luka and LeBron James are 2 of the best passers the game has seen. So is James Harden, but, like, he's fatigued. He's not getting this. And for what it's worth, the Laker defense has been really good lately. Dorian Finney-Smith's been excellent. Jared Vanderbilt adds a level of physicality and athleticism that they've missed for so long. It felt like, when the hell is he going to come back? And now he's come back and he's made a really, really big impact, which, to be honest with you, I think as a LA basketball community, I think we did say one thing, that Vando's not going to come make this Laker team a championship team. This is pre-trade, but he does make them he eases the load on LeBron so much more defensively. However, because of the Luka trade, Vando doesn't even have to be a guy that, like, fits into that starting lineup. Like, if you were going to go with a big starting lineup of AD, Vanderbilt, LeBron, and then Reeves and whoever else it may have been, I don't know, D'Lo maybe, or someone else, maybe Vincent or Dorian Finney-Smith. That would have been a huge team. Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron, Vando, and AD and Boston Reeves. But you know what? That has defensive versatility there. But now you got Luka, so you just need defensive guys. And LeBron, he looked a little more fatigued. He's 40 years old. He was a little more passive, but I think it's just because he didn't have as much gas in the tank, and the jumper just wasn't falling like that. 6 for 17 for him, 1 for 6 from 3, 4 for 4 from the line, and 8 turnovers. We stripped him a bunch of times, but he still had 9 assists as well. 17 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals, and a block. The fact that we held LeBron to that kind of game, Luka had his fun and he had some big shots, but I think our offense is a bigger issue. And I think James Harden is the forefront. He needs to be more unselfish. I don't know if he's ever going to do it, because I don't think he ever changes really, but he's going to, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being harsh on him in that regard. Like, maybe he will change next game and I'm eating my words and we're starting to play through Kawhi because he's starting to look better. But let's talk about the sequence of the game. Dorian Finney-Smith started out on Harden, LeBron on Kawhi Leonard, just like the last game. Jackson Hayes on Vitz Zubats, Gabe Vincent on Norm Powell, Luka Doncic on Chris Dunn. Jackson Hayes was in drop coverage, but he was switching on to Kawhi because, of course, certain teams that have more mobile fives are going to try to switch on to Kawhi because he's not getting by anybody, and he already wasn't getting by too many guys before the injury or what injury could I be talking about? Who knows? Since 2020, he has not had that same burst. Even in 2021, he was moving better than this, but not fully getting by guys all the time. In isolation, that is. Jackson Hayes has done a good job defensively, honestly. And they're comfortable switching LeBron onto Zubats. But by the way, there were some times where Zubats got the ball against LeBron, and like you forget, even though LeBron's a very solid post defender for a small forward, because he's one of the LeBron is the best, or if you got any Larry Bird guys in the building, second best small forward of all time, or complete haters that say KD is better or Kawhi is better. He's point being, for a defense, he's considered a small forward, was my point. And he's a good defender. But in today's NBA, he's playing power forward because it's small ball now. We play smaller lineups. He's a good post defender because he's so strong and he's got good hands. But when you see him against guys that can really turn over either shoulder, at times you just see him shoot over the top. Because LeBron's pretty good about not biting for fakes. But when you're not biting for fakes and you're playing straight up and trying to get underneath, at times you're playing against the big guy that's skilled. He can just shoot over you. And that's what happens, right? If it's a Zubats being able to turn over either shoulder, that's been such a great development in his game, but I just can't take it anymore with the lack of usage with him. It's really disrespectful at this point, and it goes beyond Ty. I think Harden needs to do a better job as well because Ty gives him a lot of leeway, and this is a players' league. You know, I'm tired of just blaming the coach so much. Ty Lue has one of the hardest jobs, to be honest with you, to have to deal with this nonsense every year where he always has a top player missing constantly. It's not normal. We critique Ty Lue a bunch, and he's not perfect, and he made some weird decisions tonight, like Kobe Brown and Jordan Miller, when we were down by 4 points in the middle of one of the biggest games of the season. What the fuck was he thinking? I agree, but this is just not conventional for him. And how many years has he had to deal with it? I honestly feel sorry for him because no one's going to succeed this way. What NBA franchises have you ever seen succeed like this, where you always have such important player or players missing games with injury every single year you're the coach? 6 years, the only year he had somewhat stability, he made it to the conference finals as a coach. I'm honestly tired of it. Like, I'm honestly going to not go so hard on Ty at this point. The players need to be better. The players need to be better. And Lawrence Frank, I mean, no, we're not getting into that conversation, honestly, yet. But we were missing I thought our process early in the game was actually not bad. We were missing every open shot, and we were forcing a lot of Laker turnovers, but I also thought that was partially their carelessness. They were being very careless. LeBron was losing the ball. Jackson Hayes was throwing it away. See how many turnovers Hayes had? Yeah, 2. They were very loose with it. They had 9 turnovers, I believe, in the first quarter, but Luka was just cooking us. It was classic Luka. We were letting Zoo switch on to him. He had 2 threes early. They went on a 9-0 run, which we countered with a 7-0 run, starting with our defense, forcing turnovers and getting out and running. One thing that really hurt us, though, even though he missed threes at the end, Chris Dunn's foul trouble. 3 fouls in the first quarter, and the third one was really stupid. Why are you pressing full court with 2 fouls? I get you want to play hard. I get you want to impress the fans. I know, and I admire that you care, Chris Dunn. I really appreciate you. But, nah, you got to be more careful, bro, especially when Derrick Jones Jr. is out and Norman Powell, has to go back to the locker room. And by the way, I'm not going to ignore the fact that Luka went to the locker room, but he seemed fine when he came back. I wasn't even listening to the commentary, so let me know what injury it was. Mods in the chat or James Harden, I already talked about his bad first quarter. When LeBron came out of the game after Luka got off to such a hot start, we started blitzing him, just try to get the ball out of his hands. And when he didn't get the blitz, I mean, he was cooking one-on-one. Dalton Connect, he's been struggling the last couple of weeks. And the fact that he played so well in this game really pissed me off. It started with a putback dunk. Then he made a corner 3 off of, I believe, a Luka kick out. But that step-back 3 hit in the first half was such a backbreaker. It just felt like we were making such leeway, and he kept making big shots. Second half, I think he made that wing 3 to put them up 10. And then Dorian Finney-Smith hit a Kobe shot, like a turnaround foul line or elbow jump shot with the shot clock winding down in the first half. So, to me, that's outlier shooting. I mean, Connect can get really hot, but a step back with a hand in his face, I've seen him hit those this season, but only when he's scorching hot. It's mostly been wide open threes off the catch. But I was disappointed we couldn't exploit him more. But for me, when Harden came out of the game, I thought our offense looked better in that second quarter. Kawhi Leonard was getting hot, but he didn't have the aggression that I would have liked throughout the game, especially in the first half. Like, there was one time where Connect is guarding him in the corner, and James Harden's out of the game and Norman Powell's not playing. So I don't give a shit who's on the floor, Bogey or whoever it is. Go get the ball. If you have Dalton Connect on you, go demand it, bro. This is your team. What are you talking about? And then when he started making some shots, and by the way, these are not easy shots. These are Kawhi shots. But he was starting to get into his Kawhi range more, 10, 12 feet, getting low to the ground with his handle, bumping guys, using his lower body. He's still strong, man. This guy's still an ox. Like, I was encouraged by that. We just need to buy. It's Kawhi's team. I'm not a fan of the way it's gone either, guys. I'm the biggest hater of the Kawhi era. But it's his team. The James Harden honeymoon is done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't bring him in for this. He's a second guy. It's going to help Harden. He needs to back up a little bit. It's going to help him. He's going to be able to pick his spots better. We can't start off every game with spamming Harden pick and roll or Harden double drag every time. He's tired. He's tired. My English teacher in senior year of high school, he was a Clipper fan, man. He comments on Locked On Clippers. Shout out to my guy, Mr. Cohen. You know what he would say to that? If we're just going to keep running Harden, high ball screen or double drag, spam it in the first quarter every single time for the rest of the season, even with Kawhi, with occasional, plays where we're bringing Kawhi off a screen, it won't work. It won't fucking work. He said that to me one time, and it reminds me of that. It won't fucking work. Yeah, Lakers are making some tough shots in that second quarter. I can't lie. And I was shocked that we threw in Jordan Miller and Kobe Brown. I don't know. I thought we would go eight deep before we did that, and they looked like they were not ready for the game. They played 5 minutes each. Jordan Miller was 0 for 1 and 0 for 1 from 3, and it wasn't even close. 0 points and a rebound. And Kobe Brown, same thing, 0 points and a rebound, 0 for 1. They were -9 in their minutes. I mean, I didn't get it, man. It was part of our 7-minute scoring drought. Drew Eubanks honestly thought he gave us some good minutes off the bench. He was switching on to LeBron's of the world and Luka's, and he had 4 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, no turnovers on 2 for 4 shooting in just 12 minutes. Maybe he should have played more. I don't know. Plus 13. But yeah, to get 13 points total from 5 bench players is very disappointing. And by the way, we just signed Jordan Miller to a 4-year contract. Are we going to play him? Because what's the point of signing these guys if we're not going to play them? Like, it's too late this year. It's too late. But next year, it really comes down to the direction of the franchise. Like, do you think that we can be this pseudo contender? And I say pseudo because you're not a championship contender, despite what your roster is, if your best player is not available for the majority of the season. That's just not how that works. What team in NBA history has ever won like that? Championship. If that's the goal, because that's what Ty Lue is he preaching anything less than a championship? I don't think so. He's not saying, we just got to get this 6 seed, fellas. They're trying to work to be better each game so they can go into the best form possible in the playoffs and try to make a run at this. Now, as fans, we are not on the team, so we can think whatever we want. Some people want to be positive and say, if Kawhi just looks good and we put it all together and Norm gets back, we can make a run and go all the way. And there's other fans that are like, are you fucking kidding? This is a joke. We're not even going to make the plan. You can feel however you want. But as a team, it comes down to the direction of the franchise. If Jordan Miller is going to be in the rotation, that means we're trying to go a different direction, I think. But yeah, it was so weird putting them in like that. We were down 56 to 43 at the half. Third quarter, Luka was killing us. And when they went up by 20, I was like, damn, this is going to be a Luka masterclass. This is a disaster. It's too little too late for Kawhi. He's trying to, chuck us back in the game. James Harden already shat the bed in the first half. But I admire that we had a little bit of fight. We started to get Zoo the ball a little more. And you could just see he's gotten so much better. He's doing such a better job sealing, getting deeper post position. He used to get pushed out a lot more last year. And in the beginning of the season, he's gotten so much better even as this season has progressed. And I think this is a consensus thing amongst Clipper Nation that Zoo just doesn't get the ball enough. And I said it last game, and I'm gonna stand by it. If you're not going to feed him the ball, let's trade him this summer. Let's get assets, then we can kickstart a rebuild. And by the way, we would be in a much better position to rebuild if we hadn't traded for Harden, by the way. We traded for Harden just to lose in the first round because Kawhi couldn't be healthy. Who said that before the trade? I did. And who got all the hate after the trade? I did. Because people confused that with me saying Harden wasn't good and wouldn't help us. No. Everything I said about the Harden trade has come true. It really has, if you really go back and listen to what I was saying. And it's been torture despite how he's won so many Clipper fans over. I can't get behind this style of play. It's nauseating for me. It's terrible. It's torture. I've never disliked the Clippers more as the roster construction than, I shouldn't say roster construction, franchise direction than these last 2 years, I'd say. Yeah, these last 2 years. I've never disagreed more with it, and I've never hated watching it more. But how many people are in here right now? 271? Like, see, when I was a kid, I didn't have this. We'd lose to the Lakers. I'd have to go back to school, hear it all the time, hear all the shit. And it was miserable. But I cared so much about the team, and I loved them so much, and I would defend them. It's nothing to defend. I've been this for 20 years. There's 271 people, and then there's a mix of Clipper and Laker fans here, and that is awesome, man. And I'm very appreciative of that. So, like, the fact that I get to win this way, and I still get to, I'm doing my own thing on the side, coaching my own teams and being a part of kids' journeys, that's really special. So I just want to say thank you to everybody in here, man. Like, I really appreciate it. There's 199 comments that I haven't read because I'm trying not to get distracted, because I know a lot of people are going to listen to this on audio, but 276 people, man, listening to me talk about Clippers Lakers is pretty cool. So I really appreciate you all, man. Laker Nation, Clipper Nation, Dime Dropper fam strong, baby. LA versus the fucking world. You know, one thing we can all agree on, most of us, unfortunately for you Angels and Padres fans, Dodgers are the World Series champs. All right, what else we got here? Bogey. Oh, my God. He started making shots in the fourth quarter, but it was too little too late. How many? What's gone on? The Hawks made such a good trade to get Terrence for this guy. And I saw someone, my boy Michael, he was in my vlogs earlier this season. He's one of my favorite guys that follows me. He's like, of course, Terrence Mann's playing well when he left us. When are we gonna address the fact that ever since James Harden came, Terrence Mann's been on a, because he's a guy that needs to play in transition. I think he's meant, and you know what? It's not James Harden's fault, really. It's partially because Terrence Mann's confidence is so shaky. But I have to watch the Hawks games to confirm. But if he's getting more shots on the break and a steady diet of the ball in his hands, that's way different, because he just became like a spot-up shooter and not even catch the ball, just doing cardio out there kind of guy. And his defensive confidence waned and his effort waned, and it was just a thing. And I just never thought, I kept saying it, that Westbrook and Terrence Mann were a better combination for one another. But again, I'm not trying to bring him back to, there's people out there that actually think I said that Westbrook was better than Harden. I never said that. And I'm a Westbrook fan. I never said that. But I think that pace-wise, Paul George and Terrence Mann were just two guys that worked better with Harden. With Westbrook, I'm sorry. But yeah, Terrence, they're going to win that trade, because Bogey, I don't know what happened to him, but he just is missing shots that he's been making for so long. I don't get it. I really don't. He's getting wide open looks. He finally started making them at the end. I like his intensity, but the Hawks got off him at the right time, I guess. 4 for 16 from the field, 4 for 11 from 3, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 turnover. He had a +10 in the plus-minus, though. Nico Batum, 6 points, 1 rebound, 2 steals, no turnovers on 2 for 3 shooting, and all his shots were threes in 16 minutes. I truly don't get it when he's a mobile guy that can switch and shoot threes and swings the ball fast. When we have such ball-pounding guys, he doesn't get more than 16 minutes. He's not 50. I hate it. By the way, I thought we did a decent job of taking care of the ball relative to last game. They turned the ball over 17 times. We only turned the ball over 12, so it's a little better. We got some good momentum going into the fourth due to Harden making some quicker decisions, but the paint being clogged and our guys not making threes led to the paint being clogged a bit. And the Lakers, as I said, were just raining threes compared to us throughout the game. But we outscored the Lakers 34-33 in the third, and then 25-19 in the fourth. I thought the Lakers got pretty stagnant in the fourth. We're switching everything, but LeBron, I thought, was a little tired. And Luka, after he came back in, was bricking. And Kawhi was just awesome. He was starting to turn the corner on, like, Jackson Hayes on that 1-and-1 and get aggressive and knock down shots. We went on a 22-7 run. It was mostly Kawhi and Zoo. And again, it was with Harden out of the game. What was Harden's plus-minus? I wonder. -18, backs up the eye test. I just checked that for the first time. Kawhi's was -10. Zubac's -17. Wow. So again, plus minus is not everything. But yeah, the 5 shot attempts on one possession or 4 shot attempts on one possession that led to a LeBron 3 to make it 96-86 was kind of the backbreaker. But yeah, when you use, if it's a Zubac, he's a good player. I have to say that about him. Let's see what he finished with. 12 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 turnovers on 5 for 8 shooting. He did foul out. but he still played 34 minutes. So we still played him despite the foul trouble. 5 for 8. It's wild, man. Oh my God. 8 shot attempts is just insane. The rebounds hurt us at the end, man. Let's see how many offensive rebounds they got. 11 to our 9. But yeah, and Chris Dunn missed some big open threes, but that was the game. 108-102 the Lakers. They're 38-21, and they're the second seed in the West. Look, man, the one thing I want is just give us a playoff series at Intuit Dome. Like, I already disagree with the franchise direction so much. Can we just get one playoff series at Intuit Dome so I can hear a roaring Clipper crowd? And please don't let it be against the Lakers. I don't want to have to pay out the ass, have my blood pressure rise to trillions of levels, and have to see 50% of the stadium be taken out by them. Like, I want to play against someone like Memphis where it's like 99% Clipper fans and that building is fucking bouncing. You know, it's going to be a cinema if the Lakers play the Clippers, but I don't know if it's going to end well for us guys with Luka and LeBron. Like, I just don't know if it's going to end well, guys. But here's the thing. As a Clipper fan, like, in the short term, like, we're 32-28. The Warriors are on our tails, but I don't know what to say. We need to see what's going on with Norm and Derrick Jones Jr., but I just don't want to play the Lakers. Like, I just don't want to have to deal with the noise and the ticket prices. I just want to but let's make the playoffs. If we lose in the play-in, though, I'm going to say this. It's going to be devastating, but it's going to embarrass the franchise so much that I feel like they're going to be forced to make moves, and then I'll be free at last. Free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'll be free at last. Kawhi Leonard, 33 points, 10 rebounds, 3 turnovers, 13 for 23 shooting, 3 for 7 from 3, and 4 for 5 from the foul line. It was his best game, and he played 40 minutes. Come on, let's get a hand for Kawhi there. 40 minutes. Hallelujah. So we're trending in the right direction. Was this his first 30-plus point game of the season? I think it was. Wow, Kawhi finally scored 30-plus. Okay, so remember what I said, guys. 3 straight games. No, sorry, I said 4 straight games with, I believe it was 25 or more points. 3 out of the last 5, he's had 25 or more. Or no, I think it was 4 straight games with 20 or more. I have to go back and check my Locked On Clippers receipts, but we're trending in the right direction. It's just a matter of if James Harden realizes that he's not as good at Kawhi at basketball when he's healthy. That's what it comes down to for me. Let's read the stat lines for, let's read James Harden's. Let's read James Harden's because that shit is ugly as fuck. 13 points, 2 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, 3 turnovers, 4 for 14 from the field, 2 for 9 from 3, and 3 for 4 from the foul line. Look, James Harden has got us here. I thought he deserved his All-Star appearance, but it's time for him to take a step back. Like, Kawhi's back. Like, now let's go back to being, second and third fiddle. With the way Zoo's been playing this season, like, maybe scoring-wise should be the third fiddle, It's just, I don't know, man. It's James Harden. I mean, he's going to be who he is. But he's been great this season. I just want to say that so the fanboys don't get too sensitive. Chris Dunn, 15 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 3 turnovers on 7 for 12 shooting, and 1 for 5 from 3. Look, like, I thought he was really good, but the threes, man, they hurt. They hurt. Keep shooting them in the Intuit Dome practice facility, Chris. Keep getting them up there. Those corner threes can be there all season. And Amir Coffey with a donut, 3 points, 3 boards, 3 assists, and a steal. 0 for 0 in 22 minutes. So not enough from our bench. Bogey's got to be a lot better. I'm just not feeling good about the way he's playing because he wasn't shooting well before the trade. He wasn't. But I don't know. Terrence, I mean, he wasn't going to contribute much with the way we play. We're too slow and stagnant for the way he wants to play, in my opinion. What makes him the best version of himself. But the Norm thing, we need Norm back. He just does so much for our, like, movement off ball. Like, he just is an option that's always can come around screens and work quickly off the catch. And Kawhi and Harden don't really do that. As for the Lakers, they went 9 deep. Shake Milton played 8 minutes, had 6 points and a rebound on 2 for 3 shooting and made both his threes. Trey Jemison continues to be really solid. We went with a Haka Jemison attempt. At one point, he was 1 for 2 from the line, but he had 3 points, 2 rebounds on 1 for 2 shooting in 18 minutes. And I think he's been so serviceable in their switch, everything scheme. Dalton Connect, what a game for him. 19 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, 0 turnovers. And the whole Laker bench didn't turn the ball over. 14 of the 17 were LeBron and Luka. But that's what's going to happen with Austin Reeves out. They're going to handle the ball a lot. 7 for 10 from the field and 5 for 8 from 3 for Dalton. Jared Vanderbilt, 8 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks. on 4 for 7 shooting and 0 for 3 from deep. I thought that besides the fact that his jumpers broke as fuck, Jared Vanderbilt was really good. I mean, we know what he does defensively. He's a pest. He's an athletic guy. Gabe Vincent didn't shoot very well, but he was working hard. 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, no turnovers on 3 for 10 shooting and 3 for 6 from deep. Jackson Hayes continues to be very serviceable and working hard. 6 points, 7 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 turnovers on 2 for 2 shooting in 26 minutes and 2 for 3 from the foul line. Dorian Finney-Smith, what a trade that ended up being. I mean, I was saying it was a good trade even before this Luka thing, but with Luka, a guy that he's already made a conference finals run with, they already have that friendship, that trust, and it's much better fit for this team than D'Angelo Russell. 11 points, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, 4 for 9 from the field, and 2 for 5 from 3, and he was a game-high plus 24 in 37 minutes. What a game for him. Then you got the duo of Luka. Actually, I'm going to go with LeBron first. Actually, I read his stat line already, right? 17 points, 5 boards, 9 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 8 turnovers on 6 for 17 shooting, 1 for 6 from 3, and 4 for 4 from the foul line. And then the player of the game has got to be Luka. 29 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals, 6 turnovers on 9 for 17 shooting and 5 for 12 from 3. His free throws were a little bit suspect, 6 for 9 from the foul line in 37 minutes. Let me just say this, though, man. Luka, some of those fouls that were being called were complete BS. He's a complete flopper. Him and Harden in the same city is unbearable. I think they both are ridiculous with some of the things that they do. LeBron also with him, he complains like crazy. The 3 guys, they complain so much. Even Kawhi complains a decent amount, I can't lie. But Luka and Harden, and they're flopping, and it's just ridiculous. They're foul baiting nonsense. But, yeah, the Lakers are trending in the right direction. I mean, to say the least, 38-21 now, 32-28 for us. I think the Lakers obviously can get as high as the 2nd seed. You know, they're the 2nd seed right now. But I said they're not going to win a championship this year. But I always say if you're a top 3 seed, you got a shot. You got to be a top 3 seed. And they're looking like they're going to be. I'm going to say this. I was wrong. They have a chance. They definitely have a chance because they have one flaw, and that's that their center rotation is Jackson Hayes and Trey Jemison. At the highest level, that's going to matter, I think. But LeBron James is your 2nd best player now, like clear cut. Anthony Davis was better than him, I think, the last season and the playoffs in 2023 and this season, if you consider both ends. But like, he's not your best offensive player anymore. That's more so what I was looking for. And that makes things a little different in terms of guarding them. It's just a matter of if they can guard. And the way that Dorian Finney-Smith, Rui Hachimura, and Vanderbilt being back, I don't think they'd be able to do this without Vanderbilt and Dorian Finney-Smith, because they're trying to, what I've been saying it for weeks now since I've been resuming the lives. JJ wants to play small ball, and he wants to scramble and double and be okay with doubling. You're going to face, I think that's his whole plan. Like, you're going to face stars in the playoffs that draw 2 to the ball. So then you're going to have to rotate. You're going to have to rotate, run guys off the line, scramble. And they have some guys that can get out there and cover ground. So that's their vision. I just think that they're probably a year away. But here's the thing about it, if you're a Laker fan, right? And if you're the organization, a year away. Like, what if LeBron gets hurt next year? Like, he's going to be 41 in December of 2025. You know what I mean? Like, this might be a great chance. Look at the way he's playing over the last couple of weeks. But is Luka going to be able to play at that number 1 option level? He's not playing like he had last season, but he still has. And if you're talking about the Luka watch, if you're a Laker fan, he's trending in the right direction too. So, if Laker fans and Clipper fans both get what they want, Luka and Kawhi Leonard will be looking good going into the postseason, and both teams will be participating. I mean, that would be sick to have both teams participating in their own arenas. That would make the scheduling so much easier. I mean, you go back to the 2023 playoffs. We played game 4 before the Lakers played game 3. That was awful. Then hopefully, let's see what the NHL standings are. Let's see what the Kings are doing right now, man. I can't lie, though, as a Staples Center like worshiper, because I grew up watching games there, that when we had all 3 teams in the playoffs, that was sick. Yeah, the Kings are looking pretty good. 3rd in the Pacific, 70 points, 31 wins, 19 losses, 8 overtime losses. See how many games we have left? 24 games. Man, I got to go to a Kings game. I have not been at Staples Center this year, and I haven't been to a Kings game. I got to go to at least 1 or 2 games this season. All right. That's it for me tonight, guys. Now to the live subscribers waiting patiently in the chat. Super chats are turned on if you want to drop $1 or a dime. Peace, and I will talk to you guys later this week.